Are they the Olympic rings of racism? Thousands taking to social media after the Olympics decided not to ban a Russian figure skater for using a performance-enhancing drug. The reason, they said, she's a minor, 15. But that didn't sit well with Sha'Carri Richardson, the American track star, who was banned from competing for smoking a joint after her grandmother died. Richardson immediately admitted her error and asked for mercy. She didn't get it. The panel's back with us right now. Tezlyn, she says it is racism. Is she right?
Absolutely. And I'm glad we were able to pick this conversation up from the last hour when my colleague mentioned that he is Jewish and chooses not to see the world through a Jewish lens. And I just want to point out to him that I didn't know, Barak, that you were Jewish until you told me. But one thing that you do know about me is that I am a Black woman. And so I don't think it is fair to merge in, morph in other ethnicities to avoid the answer on how America treats its Black Americans. Let us not be confused about why Mr. John Carlos raised his fist in the air in 1968 at the Olympics to talk about the injustices in this country. Let us not be confused that we are still talking about it right now in 2022 in the NFL. It is very easy for Republicans to say, oh, no, this is just about Russia and their corruption and bad Russia. Well, they do that to avoid talking about how America treats its own. And America, and the only reason, let me help my colleague out. The only reason why he's saying, oh, I don't think that the Russians should be able to participate is because it gives America an advantage. It's not because he all of a sudden sees the light on how Black Americans are treated wrong, how America's willing to cut their nose to spite their face, to treat Black Americans with a disgrace, and now allow the enemy to be able to have an advantage over us just to prove a point to Black Americans. So let us not be confused. Let us not morph in different ethnicities. Let us not morph in different religions, which I practice Kabbalah, by the way, which is a part of the Jewish culture. And yes, I am Black. Let's keep the main thing, Barak. And the main thing is the Black young lady in America was treated worse than the white woman in Russia. And so America has to say, do they believe in justice for all, or yet are they just saying we're going to sing, lift every voice and sing and make that our new national anthem for more symbolism, or actually believe in what they said, which is one justice, one nation under God. He's a Christian, so I'm sure he understands how divine intervention has stepped in to make a point. You remember the argument was about Michael Phelps. Oh, well, Michael Phelps, he was already out. Well, look at how divine intervention stepped in, Dale. It is a wonderful thing to show in real time how the same situation, how the Black young lady was treated differently than the Russian, our enemy, by the way, was treated better than how you treat Black Americans. Barak, it's your turn.
Barak, I'm going to quote Tezlyn here and say, my colleague has given me a lot to unpack here. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so first on the Jewish part of it, look, I mean, you may not be able to identify that I'm Jewish, but apparently a lot of other people are. And we have a long history of 2,000 years or so of anti-Semitism. Excuse me, if I may have my turn at this point, ma'am.
Everybody can identify that I'm Black. Everybody can identify that.
Let him finish.
Have my time, okay? So there's a lot of that. So for some reason, they're able to define it regardless of whether or not you can define it, and that's fine. Now, as to Ms. Richardson, the athlete, the fact is that, yes, she's Black, and it may very well be because of racism, but I think to run to that is simply inappropriate. We don't know all the factors involved. We do know that the Russian figure skater is in China. She's Russian. I think there's a lot of corruption in the Olympic Committee. I don't think there has anything to do necessarily with the fact that Ms. Richardson is Black. And that, again, could be an issue, but if that were the case, then you would expect to see no white athletes, for example, ever banned. If you have no white athletes ever banned and only Black athletes ever banned, I think you've got a really strong argument. I don't think, however, that you can show that. So you're taking one anecdote, one data point, and making a huge conclusion out of it, and I don't think it's appropriate. You simply can't make that conclusion without further facts. You also have to go into the mindset. You also have to go into the mindset of the Olympic Committee who made these decisions and actually determine that they have some sort of racial animus. I don't think you can do that.
I'm going to go into the mindset.
So wait a minute. I don't want you two to get into a point counterpoint because neither one of you will win. But Tezlyn, let me ask you this. We spend a lot of time talking about Colin Kaepernick, but let's face it, the Winter Games have been for years is seen as the white Winter Games, and the Summer Games are seen as the African American Games. Is not the entire system itself based on two different ways that we deal with the athletes in both games?
Of course it is. And I'm going to invite my colleague again to BNCIG Live so we can do counterpoint for counterpoint, because that takes all the fun out of it. So absolutely, it's two different games, but I'm not going to just skate. So let's not get into, well, I'm Jewish or I'm this or I'm that. Let's talk about the issue at hand if you're really about dealing with the issue. And we don't have to pick one data point. This is 400 years of data points on how Black Americans have been treated. It is a whataboutism. You're getting off the point. There's plenty of data that we can go through line by line to talk about how Black Americans are treated differently, particularly in the world of sports. It's literally happening right now
Barak,
in the NFL.
All right. So the issue
if
is,
you had
the issue is whether or
earrings,
not
if
those-
you had earrings, you'd be taking them off right now, putting some Vaseline on your face, and we're getting ready for the commercial break. Both of you will continue while nobody sees it, but trust me, this is the good stuff. Tezlyn, Barak, thanks for being with us. You are watching the second hour of DC Today. We will be right back.